Addressing the People's Assembly, Al-Muallim says, "Our army's achievements are a source of pride and we'll continue dialogue with the various social components and the opposition in order to start a comprehensive national dialogue." The Zionist enemy violates the disengagement agreement and fires missiles and tank shells from the occupied Golan in the direction of a school and a mosque. The Syrian Arab army eliminates scores of terrorists of Arab, Turkish, Chadian and Afghani nationalities in Hama, Idleb and Daraa. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Yabroud with the news in English. Headed by its Speaker Mohammed Jihad al-Laham, the People's Assembly was briefed today by Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign and Expatriates Minister Walid al-Muallim on the latest political developments related to the crisis in Syria. Al-Laham started the session recalling the Syrian diplomacy's ability over the past decades to overcome a lot of conspiracies hatched against Syria's stand of resistance in defense of the Arab nation's rights and main cause, that of Palestine. Today, he added, it proves once more its ability to confront the most ferocious contemporary political assault against Syria. Al-Muallim, on his part, said the coalition delegation during the Geneva conference had been working according to clear instructions that verged on illusions, and therefore it was not ready to discuss any subject beyond the so-called Transitional Rule Commission. He said, "We want the coalition delegation to be committed together with the countries that support it to the addressation of the sources of terrorism. We have agreed with Russia to work for a binding resolution on combating terrorism," he added. He affirmed the need to continue dialogue with the various components of the Syrian society and the opposition to start a comprehensive national dialogue. Al-Muallim said the Israeli attack this morning came after Israel felt the Syrian armed forces had carried out a preventive operation that extended from northern Golan till Daraa and the Jordanian borders to blow up any idea of maintaining a security belt aimed at preserving Israel's security. A military source today said that the Zionist enemy violated this morning the disengagement agreement, firing at 6 a.m. 4 missiles from As-Satah Hill and Al-Khwain in the occupied Golan in the direction of a school and Al-Hamidiyya mosque. It also fired 4 tank shells at 6:30 in the direction of Al-Hurriya position and opened its machine gun fire towards Al-Hamidiyya site, injuring 7 security men and 4 civilians. The source affirmed that this aggression confirms the direct involvement of the Zionist entity in supporting and backing the terrorist groups and proves beyond any doubt the extent of coordination between the Zionist enemy and those groups at this time when the terrorist groups are receiving severe blows by the heroes of the Syrian Arab army in an attempt on the part of the Zionist enemy to alleviate the pressure on them. Asserting that such aggressions will not prevent it from carrying out its tasks in pursuing the armed terrorist groups and eliminating them, the source added, the Army General Command warns against the repercussions of getting involved in such adventures and of attempting to test the Syrian Arab Army's fighting abilities. A unit of the Syrian Arab Army targeted an armed terrorist group affiliated to Jabhat al-Nusra in Yabroud in Damascus countryside, killing and wounding dozens of them and destroyed their weapons and ammunition. In Idleb countryside, Syrian Arab army eliminated many terrorists targeting their gatherings in Tal al-Qar and Khan Sheikhoun. Most of the killed terrorists were non-Syrians, including Saudis, Iraqis, Chadians, Jordanians, Kuwaitis, Turkish, Afghans, Egyptians, and Tunisians. In Aleppo, Syrian Arab army killed a number of terrorists in the neighborhoods of youth residential buildings, Hanano, Qadi Askar, and Bustan al-Qasr. Syrian Arab army units also targeted 7 villages of Aleppo countryside, in addition to the vicinity of the central prison and the industrial city, killing a large number of terrorists. In Hama suburbs, a citizen was killed and 4 children between 5 and 14 years old were kidnapped in an attack by an armed terrorist group targeting citizens near Al-Rastan Dam Lake in Jordanian village. Also in Hama countryside, the Syrian Arab army eliminated a large number of terrorists and injured others, some of whom were carrying Arab nationalities, and destroyed a vehicle loaded with weapons and ammunition. Among the terrorists were 2 Saudis and a Libyan. In Homs suburbs, the Syrian Arab army continues to advance in the direction of Daraa village, tightening control on a deep hill, eliminating the snipers there. The Syrian Arab army is still advancing along the hill's axis to surround the terrorists in Daraa and take control of the area. In Daraa countryside, Syrian Arab army units eliminated a large number of terrorists, including leaders from Jabhat al-Nusra, and destroyed their 2 vehicles on the southwestern side of As-Sura village west of Al-Harak. The Syrian Arab army also targeted terrorist gatherings in 3 sites, killing and wounding a large number of them. 12 people were killed in 5 terrorist car bomb blasts which rocked Sadr city in the Iraqi capital of Baghdad. An international counter-terrorism conference is scheduled to be held in Baghdad on March 12 and 13 with a wide participation by international and Arab countries and the presence of the UN, according to the Iraqi Interior Ministry. Sources said the agenda of the conference includes items providing for cooperation among the participating countries in security and intelligence fields, in addition to pursuing and handing wanted persons. Earlier, Iraqi Prime Minister Nour al-Maliki called many times for holding an international conference to combat terrorism and cited the attempt of al-Qaeda to exploit chaos in the Arab world to impose its agenda. In a new attempt by extremist terrorists to create tension in the Lebanese city Tripoli, 3 people were wounded when gunmen threw a hand grenade on Barsan Cafe in Az-Zahiriya area in Tripoli, causing also material damages to nearby shops. In Baal al-Darawish, another grenade was dropped without causing any injuries. In Ukraine, the Prime Minister of Crimea, Sergei Aksyonov, said that the current Ukrainian regime in Kiev is illegitimate. He added that the residents of the Republic of Crimea are the ones who are entitled to determine their future. Meanwhile, more than 500 detainees in the Ukrainian city of Odessa raised the Russian flag in the local administration building in rejection of the new authorities in Kiev. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov stressed during his meeting with EU Coordinator for Foreign Affairs Catherine Ashton in Madrid that naturalizing the situation in Ukraine depends upon the basic principles signed between the 2 sides on the 21st of February. It is to be mentioned that the agreement was signed between President Viktor Yanukovych and the opposition, which also included introducing constitutional reforms. Back to our local news, Prime Minister Dr. al-Halqi stressed that the religious and cultural diverse in Syria is the source of its strength and uniqueness. He pointed out that Syria will remain symbol of religious harmony and coexistence. Dr. al-Halqi met with Archbishop Luq al-Khoury for Roman Orthodox Church of the Antioch and the whole East and discussed with him the latest developments, stressing the importance of religious integrity in the light of the Takfiri ideology targeting Syrian society. Minister of Health received today 4 mobile clinics provided by the World Health Organization in order to support the healthcare services in Damascus, Hama, Deir ez-Zor, and Idleb. Minister of Health Dr. Saad al-Naif asserted that the mobile clinics will immediately put into service to support the services of delivering emergency medicine, medicine of chronic diseases and the routine vaccines, as well as the polio vaccine. Minister al-Naif said the mobile clinics will be dedicated for the areas which were badly affected as a result of the attacks by the armed terrorist groups. For her part, WHO representative in Damascus, Elizabeth Hoff, said that the organization has included in its plan for the year 2014 providing 40 mobile clinics for the Ministry of Health and for the non-governmental societies which are concerned with health.
WHO is committed to support primary health care, so we will have now provided the additional 4 that are here, but we have ordered already 30 new ones, and most of them for Ministry of Health, but also for NGOs around the country.
And now over to latest business and market news, but after a short break, stay tuned.